Thanks for joining us. Okay, this is still 9/11. I forgot about 9/11 yesterday. Not that it matters. I'm not gonna go into any of that. I don't want to get banned. I'm kind of pushing my luck as it is. So, I forgot to put the link out there again. I forgot. Yeah, it doesn't have a reminder on here. God, I'm gonna pause. 1 second. I'll be back. I'll turn the camera back on. Yeah, Priscilla's here. She's just, I don't want her to scratch my face up like Fritzy almost did. So today is, as I put the link out, yeah, because usually I get a notification and it's sending a link out, but I changed the system around because this is better. It just, I forget to post things now. I have no reminder. Yeah, because this is a bare bones system I got here. So anyway, King Charles, go into that energy, the comedy. At least they have their version of Joe Biden now. Now they know what it feels like. And Britain definitely is influencing this place for sure. So yeah, that energy, and so go with Reptilian Perspective. Just enjoy it while it lasts. I'm going to do so much. I haven't done Reptilian stuff in like ages, so we're kind of catching up. Where we lost time. Disney also did that yesterday about the human trafficking energy, so I'm tapping into a little bit more of that. Yeah, basically the company at this point, I don't know if anybody, at least in the higher ups, don't care about anything anymore. So they just want to make money and they don't care. So they're starting to get more sloppy, and so Thor: The Dark, or was it, The Lost Love and Thunder, whatever it was, just so dark. Demonic energies in it. Kill Zeus in the thing. Just freaking ridiculous. So it's not good energy. So it wasn't a very good movie, but kidnapping children and just using children as warriors and all of that, it just doesn't have a good vibe around it at all. So just basically tap into the frequency of Disney. It can collapse. It's not quite there yet, but anything can go for sure. Of course, around Disney World, Disney was created by CIA, or at least to buy up the land. Was it the director of the CIA was involved with that, and there's a lot of human child trafficking in that part of Florida. There's usually when the police do raids or anything like that, a lot of times what they make public, there's a Disney employee involved with it. So some pretty disgusting shit there. And also the Orion religious wars. I just felt Orion's frequencies. So I just tap into those. The best of our ability, but King Charles and Charles, gotta love it. Talking about phoning it in. Yeah, it's not sure how long it's going to last. Who knows? 5 years, maybe longer, but at least 5 years at least. Yeah, I think Brent's going to be just. Yeah, they're going to get tired of it real fast. So what's happened to that? Handful of joy. All right, it's Atomic Private Sessions. I have the schedule. Calendar. The shop here in the middle of August somewhere. Yeah, the social network just created. And webinar coming up this week, and there's one on Saturday. What is this? Another social network, Discord, and behind the scenes. So, all right. Okay, so we go into Charles's energy. It definitely looks like a vampire frequency. He's still calling on his mommy. Well, she had kind of a hold on him. He was keeping her alive, actually, because she was vampiring his energy. So the Queen passed as the spokesperson of England. Now we have whatever we have now. The 9/11 energy, obviously. I want to go there. Like politics. Careful with politics. Careful with 9/11. You can make a list of that. So we'll see what we got here with good old Charles. Yeah, so we get a reptilian perspective of this. Also, the Palladian corruption. Get a Palladian perspective of that. Just didn't put in the title because there's only so much room and everything. So, all right. So, for those that don't want to hear about the royals and all, well, that's why we're bringing the reptilian energy to kind of troll them a little bit. So I just have some kind of fun with it, even if the whole thing is just a big joke. People need that energy. They need somebody. They need mom or dad or whatever it is from the royal family. So it's tradition. Tradition of mind control. So all right, we're going to Charles and Disney and Orion. Okay, right, blessings. Greetings, this is Novak. Your favorite reptilian. Always for some of you. Yeah, I should grow a beard. And wear a hat. Maybe one of those English hats to look so I can fit in. So with Charles, King Charles, so far nobody's taking him seriously. A lot of the royal family doesn't like him. He kind of blackmails people. We'll let you connect with that one. He's kind of arrogant, obviously. He's a royal. That comes with the card. The royalty card. Arrogance. His disillusion is not as pay attention to what's going on. So he's living in his own little world. Of course, obviously, he's getting old, so he can't think straight. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, he's not very good at remembering names. And you can say why he ever got this position to begin with. It has to do with his previous incarnations. You can say he died for no reason in previous lifetimes and wars. And I guess you can say he felt like, he kind of wasted a lot of his lifetimes, like he was taking. So it's like he feels like the royal family, like he did like a kind of like a general in his past. Something along those lines where he gave to England. And he feels like England owed him something. And now here he is in all his glory. So, yeah, he died for others and not himself so many times that brought him to this position. Of course, with his mother energy, obviously, he's still a little kid when he comes down to it. Well, he's that way his mother treated him. And so she has a lot to do with his, there's a bit of a retardation energy there. But that's due to her over mothering him and just being arrogant to him. And she was something else. Not exactly the best mother. Let's put it that way. You can always call her up and ask her about that one. But Charles, it's kind of a Puritan energy, kind of like a pristine, perfect. Like he always has to have the best of everything. He's had that in previous lifetimes also. So his feelings got hurt, so they made him king. Let's put it that way. So yeah, it just expect a lot of mismanagement coming from him. Obviously, there's others behind the scenes, and yes, he's the perfect puppet. Let's put it that way. Now is like those are behind the scenes. Are they going to be seen? The black, brigade, the shadow government frequencies. Not entirely. A lot of it is actually in Brussels. That's controlling the English kingdom. Not all of it, but England. There's a lot of Brussels influence there. Has to do with wealth. Has to do with just keeping themselves incognito. So obviously, the English throne is obviously it's so ingrained because they have power. They have all this power. They have all these castles, all this wealth. So obviously, people are going to look up to them. If they lived in like a shopping cart and called themselves king, most likely nobody paying attention to them. But because they're living in that lavish lifestyle, obviously they're being forced on the people. So that doesn't mean they know what the hell they're doing. So when people start to break all this away, see, it's kind of making some people materialistic because they see all that power and they want it themselves. So this is the cycle. And breaking out of that is not easy. Doesn't mean that people want celebrity, but they do like the wealth, as you can see. So it's a lot of brainwashing going on in this system. The collapse of a British royal empire is possible, but the people have to change. They have to not want it anymore. Obviously, when they were sitting in the streets, clapping and all of that, something that you might see in a World War II, not to go into details of who we're talking about, because it's pretty much the same thing. Well, let's put it this way. It's not much different than Nazi Germany. It's the same. It's just different agendas, but it has the same frequency. So, I mean, that regime went down, but they're attacking everybody. This one, they're not doing that. They just continue with the brainwashing. So obviously, you want them to go around attacking everyone, and then of course it will favor the people. So it's a lot more sophisticated breaking out of this mind control. It's just, is humanity going to snap out of it and see a deeper realm of all this? That's up to it's up to the people. But that's why many of you are here for, to bring a different perspective. And there's a lot of waiting with that. There's a lot of paperwork, you can say. Yes, this is one of the harder timelines, actually. Some of you might realize. Well, of course, it depends on what you're living. But if you're here for an awakening to really open up humanity's frequency, basically not to sell an agenda, but just to show them what is going on. Obviously, many close their eyes. When you see a corrupt British government, obviously there's much more going on there. And people just close their eyes, look the other way. They don't want to hear it. But the universe and spirit have a way of, waking humanity, just like, it's time for you guys to change. We've all gotten tired of it. So the spirit realm does intervene. And that's why many of you are here for. Blessings. Greetings to you, the Pleiadians. Blessings. We are from the collective. Blessings to you. This King Charles situation. We don't feel like his health is all that great. He has a lot of heart energy, not exactly a condition, but there's a lot of difficulties there. Obviously, he knows that the people aren't really going to like him as much as they like the Queen. It just hasn't quite set in just yet. It's given like 3 months for the truth to come through, and people are starts like, who is this guy? Yeah, a lot of people are not going to be for the king anymore, but obviously there'll still be many that will be, but there's going to be definitely a divide. It's kind of similar to what you're seeing in the United States right now. With the play of the Disney energies, the corruption there, yes, there's been dark cabal frequencies, as you can see, wizard energies. A lot of it is done underground, but it's basically to go after the youth so they can keep control over the youth, keep their minds busy with cartoonish characters and fantasy realms that are constantly programming. Is just even the drawings of the Disney cartoons, just the draw, even now, it's just basically how it's made has a magnetic frequency around it. And as you know, human trafficking is, well, that's one of the sources. So, and like I say, that's one of the reasons why it was designed. So, yeah, it's not exactly trusting corporations that advertise the kids. Probably not exactly the best agendas there. And it shows you a lot of the elitist frequencies that are going on there. So, it's basically stopping the advertising. Obviously, it's not going to be the easiest, but your own vibration, you can. But basically, if they can't advertise, how are people going to know it's there? So, it's just another way of looking at reality. The Walt Disney frequency, you can say he was himself or wasn't at the same time. A lot of demonic beings did speak through him. They're just basically trying to program, once again, wizardry. It's always been a point of just wizard energy of getting into the mind. Even putting those little cartoon ideas into a person's mind. And basically, like Goofy or Mickey Mouse, people are channeling those energies into theirs. Also, the agendas, like they want to be Goofy, they want to be Mickey Mouse, so it's bringing that frequency here. You have an adult person that feels like they're Mickey Mouse, they love that energy, but they're also mimicking that person also. Same thing with anything else. So, but if you're mimicking a mind control being, which Mickey Mouse has a great deal. Mickey Mouse basically, it's developed to, where someone messages within his movements and everything. Even the voice to get into the mind. It's very sophisticated, and for humans to pull away from it, obviously, is not the easiest. It's basically stepping, which many are. See, that's the thing. Many are angry at Disney due to the quality of their work, but they're still giving it energy. So many might hate the company, but are still giving all this energy to it. The idea is to step away from it and just let it die, which many of you have, but obviously the numbers need to multiply worldwide, where it becomes a fad and it's no longer important anymore. Nobody's going to, but people have nothing better to do, so they go to the parks. So, but there's definitely going to be change eventually. That's once again, yes, why many of you are here, to bring a new path. Greetings, we are the Orions. From our perspective, it is so interesting to see humanity on your world that thinks they have an idea of your origins, of your planet, but there's so many origin stories. You can tell all the tales you want. There's always going to be more behind the scenes that's not being mentioned for obvious reasons. For the religious frequency with their Orions, obviously they created the perfect mind control, as you can see. Now, there is good within religions, of course, but obviously there are other agendas, basically to siphon beings from your Atlantean times into your, like even your cathedrals are built to pull in energies, as you know. Yes, there is energies with them, but like an energy power plant, yes. But it's basically bringing beings into that space. And a lot of it is Atlantean beings to control, possess, and control the masses. Because you've had some major, powerful mind control beings in your past Atlantean times. And so these churches are designed to bring them back. There, of course, is through other religions too, but they have their own. But through the cathedrals, that's Atlantean manipulation. And look at the gold, or look at the structures of it. Yes, there's Tartarian energies there, but a lot of the Tartarians are taken over too. So, of course, there's positive Tartarian beings, but a lot of them were not. A lot of them were actually controlled. But they had no other choice either. Either build these things or starve. And the Tartarian energy basically say, yes, you change the timeline, obviously. Well, that shows you the power of these beings that are here. Yes, they can move mountains. And that's when you become more understanding of the astral. Now, understanding the astral can get there's a lot of responsibility with it, because that's where they're cooking up this reality right now. And obviously you're connected to it, in sleep state. It's so your body can handle it. You can do it. I mean, many of you have versions of you in astral now, but when you really go deep into it, your body needs to be, because your body, when you connect to astral, when you go deeper into the astral realm, look at it that way. When you get tired, you're going deeper into the astral realm, and that's where your body cannot handle those frequencies. And your energy, like when you're awake, while you're in astral, it's kind of like floating around you. It is doing things, connecting to others, trying to give you ideas. Of course, sometimes your human self's like, no. So there's always going to, sometimes you say yes, sometimes you say no, sometimes you listen, sometimes you don't. Because your astral self works with your guides. And also, you can also create multiple guides. You also copy some of your guides too. To go into a whole new level of that, like you can have a spirit guide and astrally heal their energy and remove, like if they're causing a blockage, you can remove it astrally. So sometimes you wonder, like, people are tired, sometimes they're battling their own guides. And the guides themselves, because they've been so connected to this world, they get cluttered. They need to cleanse themselves. You need to cleanse, they need to cleanse. Everybody needs a break. Everybody needs a vacation. Because the guides have to connect to your frequency. They connect to your mental state. But that can take a toll on them. Even if they are in spirit, it can't influence them. It can influence them for you to go the wrong way. Not that it happens all the time, but it does happen to some. Well, because if somebody makes you mad in your lifetime and you get angry, your guides can get angry. And then you do things you probably would regret. So because your guys are so pissed off, they're saying, yeah, you want to kick that person's ass, but probably shouldn't do it, but already you punch that person out or whatever it might be, or send that email or wherever it is out of rage. It's like you didn't get the message from your guides, and they've been talking to you, but when you have so much anger, it's hard to hear the guides. That's why it's so peace and tranquility to connect. It just helps that frequency. As for Orion beings that came here, obviously they go after your spiritual self. The ones that want to attack your world, they want to cut off the astral. When they cut you off from the astral, they can have you for the taking. You can believe whatever you want. You're still under, because you don't see the fourth dimension anymore. So you can come up with any story you want to in this reality. Either way, you still can't see the fourth dimension. Now, when you start seeing more of the fourth dimension, you start seeing the aliens, all these realities, that's when they get, nervous. Well, some do get nervous, some don't. But that's what you're here to achieve. And healing the cathedrals. Now, the cathedrals are like the pyramids. They can be used for light or dark. So the cathedrals, because it's not all dark. If it was all dark, most likely they wouldn't even survive here. So they have to have some good frequencies there. And that has a lot to do with the people that are going into those places. It's like good people go into a cathedral and send positive vibrations because they know they need these lessons that they're being taught by this world. So, all right, blessings.